Good morning. It is Monday, October 3rd, first day of the month, first day of the quarter. Let's start it off very well here. Let's get to it going with the investor sentiment analysis, with the US dollar showing some support around this previous 4-hour break of structure on the daily time frame, 111, 112, where we had a pullback from new 30-year multi-decade highs on the dollar. Came to pull back right near the zone here. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, this was from the breakout of this daily structure here, the daily swing high on the higher time frame. We had created a break and retest on the 4-hour and created some structure here. So from these new highs, we're coming down and we are creating some support above this zone. So on the dollar, we are in a we're in a spot where the pullback structure is still alive, but as well as the higher time frame structure is still alive. So we are consolidating here, and I could even identify this level in the market as well, which is another 4-hour break of structure from this lower high, new lower low. So we have consecutively made two lower lows in this drive to the downside of US dollar weakness. But again, we are holding this structure for the time being, so it is flat. It is consolidating. Looking at the economic calendar, there is a lot of Fed speakers today. So Bostic is speaking at 9. Then we have some PMI data, which is expected. The forecast is to be similar, or maybe a slight drop from the previous. So we may have some effect if it's better than expected or worse than expected. We may have some impacts on the charts. So we'll be watching the US dollar reaction to this data. It's at 10 o'clock, so it's a little bit later towards London close hour. And then we also, again, have member George, FOMC member Williams, and Bostic speaking again. So we have a lot of speakers here. Be on the lookout for some reactive headlines in the newsroom. But as long as dollar stays within this consolidation, I'm not expecting a lot of volume and volatility. So need to see a breakout from this consolidation to see any real bias on the dollar. And looking at the GU here, let's go ahead and remove the drawings. We're going to start from scratch here. Okay, so have some fresh. Let's also hide these. Whatever, they're there. Okay, so on the weekly time frame, we have this key level right here. So we are bearish on the weekly below 1.1760, where we had the previous lows. We had a break, retest, and new lows. So we are still within the bearish territory on the weekly time frame. On the daily, this is the important structure that we broke. Again, with this weekly time frame break, retest, and new lower low, this is the previous low on the daily time frame from the latest breakout. So this being the daily supply key level. So now, if we're looking at the structure on GU on the higher time frames, even with this aggressive pullback, we are still maintaining higher time frame bearish structure. But now the story changes on the 4-hour, where we have more evident pullback structure as shown with this higher low and these sequence of bullish candles. And again, we are consolidating in this region, which lines up with this previous level of 4-hour liquidity, right? So this is a previous 4-hour structure level that broke to the downside with this aggressive downside move. We came to correct pretty much everything from this move, and we're retesting this level. This is where we're getting these consolidation. 4-hour supply. Now let's identify the bullish structure. So from this sort of consolidation, we had this push higher low break. So right here, this is a bullish level of structure like that, right? So we do have this clear bullish structure that led into these new higher highs on the 4-hour time frame. But again, we are retesting this bearish liquidity zone as well. Now looking at the 1-hour time frame, we had this bullish candle close above the rest, but then and above this 4-hour breaker structure, but we have had a bearish rejection and consolidation, and no candles after this initial break closed above this 4-hour breaker structure. So I'm not going to say that, oh, right here we have a 1-hour breaker structure, therefore I'm looking for buys at this level, just because we are still below that 4-hour breaker structure. So here we're in a spot where we have the market conditions are bullish on the 4-hour short-term pullback structure, and we are bullish on the 1-hour. So you could say this is a 14 market structure trend conditions, right? So that would mean, by rule, I'm looking for buys at this level, and I'm looking for buys at this level, or I'm looking at buys at this level. So be very cautious with any buys here, given the price action and failing to break above this 4-hour breaker structure. So I'll be very cautious. Buys at this level could end up being all right if we do have the price action confirms, and we do have a decent enough range before even touching that bearish key level. Whereas a trade here, whereas a trade here does not have a clean or favorable range to retest the highs, where we do have some signs of exhaustion. And again, we've got the US dollar in a trading range. We've got GU retesting higher time frame bearish structure. We do have a 14 confluence here, but we don't have a clean range for this trade idea. This trade idea could work out here, but we may end up seeing, if it breaks below this level, we could see the pullback to 4-hour structure, where we may end up getting a bounce from this level as well. So yeah, I'm just not liking this slow down price action pattern, where we've got sort of a rising wedge, if you could call it that, where the higher highs and higher lows are losing momentum into this liquidity zone. So yeah, that's GU. Let's start from scratch on gold as well. Start from scratch. Delete all that. Right. So on the weekly time frame, we did tap into this candle body support area around 1619, 1620, and created a bullish candle on last week. But we are still maintaining below this bearish structure, 1680.935, this previous low that was broken to the downside, making this weekly supply level as well. So we're bearish on the weekly still. On the daily time frame, we do see this consolidation region below this weekly break of structure that created this new lower low. That is also still being respected. It's actually being tested as we speak here. So this is the daily bearish break of structure below these lows, and this, by definition, would be the daily supply level, which is the lower high that pushed into these lower lows. So we are retesting this previous level of higher time frame sell side liquidity within a higher time frame active bearish trend. Now, the 4-hour is still maintaining bullish structure for now, so it's not favorable to be looking for sells when we have impulsive new highs on the 4-hour and a new higher low and a new higher high. So we've got bullish sequence of events here on the 4-hour time frame, with 1662 being this most recent high on the 4-hour that we broke to the upside, meaning this swing low 1641.5 is our 4-hour demand key level, right, which is perfectly in line with the break and retest of this previous 4-hour break, right? 1642, 1641 is an important level of structure here on the bullish side. And now let's zoom into the 1-hour here, where we just got a massive consolidation. So there's no trade ideas right now because I'm not going to be taking any trades on this 4-hour key level when the 1-hour is just consolidating here. What I'd like to see is potentially a retest of this 4-hour demand. I'd be looking for potential buys if we can retest this level right here. But ideally, I would like to see this high get broken. So this is not a 1-hour break of structure yet. It's not valid, right? It doesn't exist. But I'm marking out this level that I'm going to need potentially the New York open candle or New York session candle. I need a 1-hour candle to close above this level. Then I could see potential buys to the upside. So I'm going to need to see and validate this trade idea before taking any action on it. If not, we just may end up seeing some consolidation here. So I'm really going to need to see that hourly close above 1668 to see further buys. So that's pretty much it. It looks like it's going to be a quiet Monday. Quiet start of the month, quiet start of the whole last quarter of the year. So we'll see if we get any action based on these trade ideas that we have identified here.